this should be a very disciplined and a patient early game from Maycam Evolve. And we've seen them attempt to do this, right? When they pick up the Yi Sun-shin and the Bruno. And this time it's just a different kind of form. So how aggressive would KBG go with the early game, since they've got the Beatrix you were talking about earlier, and they also have a way to prevent, if ever, Maycam Evolve actually wants to go for a play. There's the Vexana, there's the Deathly Grasp. So, like, the only front for Maycam Evolve even right now, it's just the Fred Rin. So what are they going to couple with this?
Like I said, there's still the Khalid, there's
still
the
the Khalid, Gata.
Let me just say, KBG, it looks like the way that they draft, they look at a tier list and then they just pick up what's strong. I mean, like, it's not a bad idea, but looking at how the drafting here is just like, okay, this counters that, we want to have a way to fight against this. So KBG, they're sticking by the books here. Where Maycam Evolve, they've seen what's happening in M6, and they're picking up like the S tier for M6.
Yeah, and they're picking up what's been working for other teams as well. I really like what Brigitte said here. You know, it's a defense, early game defense, but they have all the answers to that. They have the Fredrin who can fight in the turtle pit. They have the Matilda who can move around. Switch things up just to give them the old 1-2. Little bit of aggression to maybe fight off in the early game.
1-2, up and 2, up
I
and 2.
kind of like it.
Oh my gosh.
You know what? This is going to be very, very interesting. But now we're throwing it over to Ingan and Mirko.
Yo, what's up, LaFell? Thank you so much for the throw, man. It's Mirko here with Ingan. Yo, what's up? All right, we got a crazy game here. Elimination bout, best of 3. Maycam Evolve coming in first game, guns blazing here. Paquito pick?
First pick, Paquito, man. I'm excited to see this. I mean, again, when was the last time we saw Paquito in the meta, Mirko?
Probably like middle of the season, right? In our own regular season, but we're going to take a look at the lineups again here for Maycam Evolve and KBG, and I agree with what LaFell had to say there. He said KBG, they have a very flowchart way of drafting. It's very, very template. It's all about the meta picks. And man, for Maycam Evolve, they want to go crazy though, so let's see. They were the ones to utilize Yi Sun-shin previously. We're going to dive straight in, ladies and gentlemen, into the land of Dawn we go. For the first game in this best of 3 elimination bout, the 0-2 bracket. Saksa and Aurora both starting on orange buff.
You know, I like what Trex actually mentioned a while ago, that Maycam Evolve needs to switch things up, not just for their mid trio, but also this time it's really going to be an interesting thing because they have a very damage-capable XP laner, so they're not going to result instead to Aurora's aggression. They can actually switch things up with this kind of lineup.
Yeah, definitely. You can try to... I don't know, man. Personally, for me, too, I love the fact that KBG have gone for an early aggressive matchup. You can see so much damage early on through the mid-prio. Aurora's going to have quite a bit of trouble, at least later on after turtle number 1. It all comes down to, especially with Fredrin, securing neutral objectives. But you guys at home, you guys can secure something completely different. That's the M6 Pass that is now available from the 18th of November all the way to the 29th of December. You guys can get yourself some M6 exclusive items. Hey, you can actually get the Glory Avatar border, Baksha's Battle emote, and the new special skin, Baksha Dauntless Shield, for free.
Yeah, and I like what KBG is actually doing right now because they're putting a lot of distraction into the rotation of Aurora, which means that Saksha was actually able to take away a bit of jungle creeps for KBG, and knowing that this is a Suyo that has a natural advantage when it comes to those 50-50 retribution with the Sever and the Retri, of course, I think KBG is going to really have a good time in the early game.
Yeah, that's a good thing to bring up, right? For the longest time, you want to go for skill 1 on, Soul Sever for Mr. Suyo Man, and then Retri. That's the combination. But back in M4, before the Suyo, it was the Fredrin who had that last pick, the last hit onto neutral objectives. Now Saksa and KBG first onto the turtle. Aurora is going to be zoned away.
Yeah, just when return, just making things work for them compared to yesterday when he was able to get the first blood. But look at this, they are going to get the first turtle, but want to try and extend that by taking the Aurora, but the Guiding Wind will be able to save him. Now Mercurio caught in the midst of everything. They're going to chase right after him, forcing out the flicker, and I think he's going to be able to be safe.
Good escape from Marquinhos. They don't lose out too much. They lose out on the neutral objective. They will have to burn some battle spells, but it's all right. You know, they have a Bruno, they have a Sicilian. They can actually afford to lose out on the early game.
Yeah.
What's concerning is the fact that Saksa, now that he has a turtle, he's going to start invading. And this Fredrin is not that good at clearing up camps, especially when you're up against someone like the Suyo. Clears the camps so quick, maneuvers around the map so quick. I think Saksa might be able to build up that 2-level lead. And Maycam Evolve, they're forced to just kind of cling to Aurora to get him farm.
And for Maycam Evolve, I think they know the aggression of KBG that they can produce. That's why they're opting instead to go for a similar lineup that what Twisted Minds pull off against Falcon Esports yesterday. This was actually their almost the same lineup except for the Fredrin, who was in Alpha, the Matilda, the Bruno, and the Sicilian, which was actually the longest game so far for M-Series. 27 minutes in, they were able to hold on to their base crystal. No inhibitor turrets for, I think, the last 2 Lords, but they were able to still pull off a comeback. And I think that's what Maycam Evolve is hoping for. The question is, will they be able to extend the game towards the late game?
It's definitely the playstyle that they like best, you know, especially in Latam. We did see him dominate games through Yusun Shin. And that's the playstyle with the Yusun Shin. You give up the first few neutral objectives, you farm up till your power spike, and then you go and fight. This time though, in M6, I'm not too sure if the gold lane, Beatrix has picked up a Malefic gun, folks, as his first item.
Yeah,
he's trying to do exactly what Mr. Hiko was able to do to Yurokotsu.
Exactly, and that's the thing. So that's why I was wondering why they didn't opt to ban the Beatrix instead. They went for the Granger and the Moscow ban. Seems like they aren't convinced with the result of Maycam's very first game that they lost to a Beatrix. So let's see if they can pull this win off. Because again, this is the first elimination match for M-Series.
It's sad that one of these teams will have to go home here. But yeah, first elimination bout, turtle number 2 going to be spawning, and you can see KBG just having so much prio over it. Tracy getting some vision, trying to zone Maycam Evolve. If you take a look at the levels here, Saksa will still have that 1 level lead. Spilexi still staying up top. Saksa starting the turtle. Marquinhos and Matt walking up.
Okay, it looks like Maycam Evolve wants to go 10, but look at the kick from Tracy.
Oh.
Connecting with the Way of the Dragon, but here comes Feshi for the second class and Bat's impact. But Marquinhos is the first man down as KBG gets the turtle, but they want to extend the lead by taking down 1 more, focusing their eyes on Aurora. Will they be able to steal away his purple buff?
There's no damage, not yet from Maycam Evolve. They're fighting for the purple.
Oh, Aurora, he hasn't casted the Primal Wrath and gets bursted down by LMU, now gets taken away. And they steal the purple buff also.
Oh, it's a disaster of a first game here. The first 4 minutes for Maycam Evolve. They haven't been able to get their win conditions down, and they really lack that damage when it comes to these neutral objective battles. This is why the Sicilian, we see it sometimes, it does good, but in this situation, when you have a Fredrin, it's tough because you don't get the first neutral objective. Second turtle onwards, the Sicilian still won't be able to actually dish out enough damage towards the rest of a snowballing composition that we have for KBG here. So they're just punishing Maycam Evolve for taking these fights early.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's like Aurora has to do a lot for his team. Not to mention, has to secure those neutral objectives and at the same time be the main frontliner. Because so far, they opted for a Paquito XP laner, so you don't have a secondary tank. Oh. But wait a minute, another kick coming in from Tracy. Whoa. Aurora gonna get bursted down by Bilexi! Oh. And then gets another. Yurokotsu is the next, wants to get the triple. 4 after him, but LMU secures the kill. And on the other hand, Saksa! With a solo kill onto the bottom lane, a dominating start for KBG.
Action around the map. That's the KBG we were expecting to see in day 1, day 2. And it took them 3 days, but hey, better late than never. And it does seem like they're just taking the snowball and controlling everything. The tempo they have in on the map is phenomenal. Saksa in the bottom lane getting the solo kill. And you can see the disadvantage of Marquinhos here on the Paquito. Yeah, it is a Paquito that went for lethal ignition. You would expect him to maybe be able to threaten some kills in the early game. But when you go 0-1 and when you're up against a horse that can tank up all this damage, yeah, the Paquito's not really a reliable damage source in team fights because you can get body blocked very easily. It hits the first target that you go for. You can't penetrate through the front line unless you go for a flank. But even then, it's tough. And KBG, they just took that turtle for free. It's Saksa getting the team. Perfect turtle. Tracy wants to go for more.
Oh, Tracy once again, but not going to commit. The Way of the Dragon. Here comes the Circling Eagle. Might be a counterattack coming in from Maycam Evolve. Tracy survives! And Bilexi turns things around by taking down Matt. Here comes Marquinhos with the damage flicker out from LMU, and he's going to take him down. Sackwing Claws, Bat's impacts will secure the kill onto Bilexi. Wind Return has to walk away here. And so far, Maycam Evolve finally gets a trade.
That's the window they were waiting for, to play for the late game, to get some fight randomly in the match to actually neutralize the lead. That is an amazing fight for Maycam Evolve, firstly, right? They're going to be able to get to turret as well. So a little, unfortunately, no. They're actually going to fully respect Wind Return, and Tracy knows that KBG can maybe still try to force it out. But KBG needs to be careful here. There's no real reason for them to actually, fully go for these fights when there is no neutral objectives up. So the fact that Tracy went for that, and the fact that it was also on Matt.
Yeah.
Not too sure about that, right? And Maycam Evolve, even though they were losing in the early game, and even though Fashion has dealt basically no damage in the early game, that's an early game, bro. It can completely change with just a few more sacks, a few more items. Marquinhos and another 1v1. Unfortunately, you're not going to be able to 1v1 Saksa for now. They're going to have to still wait up a bit.
Yeah, and at this point, I think Fashion, the Sanguine Claws alone, is good enough for his team. Considering the fact that they have a Matilda, but right now they're very aggressive. The penetration is there, but look at the Sanguine Claws. That's in a combination. Aurora's gonna get a kill onto LMU. And here comes the aggression. Here comes the bounce back. The rubber band strat of Maycam Evolve. They're finally able to fight back.
Okay, that was a big pick. Luomu has died 2 times in the last 2 fights. And that's the Vexana. That's the guy you would expect to play in the back, to play it safe. Fashion has been amazing at getting the Sanguine Claws here, so you just need a couple more, and you should be good in the mid-game. Yurokotsu is going to get this turret. Saksa won't be there in time. Circle Eagle.
Oh, they're going to commit though. Energy Eruption. Sanguine Claws again is going to catch 2, but Wind Return goes in with the Glorious Pathway to cut the clash off. And this is the thing for Maycam Evolved. If Tracy doesn't catch that Jeet Kundu Flicker combination, or at least the Way of the Dragon, they can turn things around, because even if the Glorious Pathway is there, one Circling Eagle or Guiding Wind can save themselves, re-engage, and go for the kill once again. And so far, Fashion, with the Sanguine Claws, always connecting to at least 2. If this game again extends just a bit, like 30 minutes, 14 minutes, they can actually, be more aggressive than KBG and even take this Lord away from them.
Definitely. I mean, if KBG keep on going in aggressively, Maycam Evolve might get their power spike faster than the 13-minute mark, faster than the 14-minute mark. So we'll just have to see here as they're comfortable enough to actually walk up at this point of the game. 9 minutes in, with KBG getting a 5,000 gold lead very early, you thought they would win. Tracy!
Okay, are they going to go in? Glorious Pathway to zone out the remaining members of Maycam Evolve as KBG gets the Lord. A kill finally onto Fashion, but Tracy will be traded for KBG. Now Saksha going on and on, so going to take down 1 more. They're trying to cut off the exit route of Maycam Evolve. Here comes Saksha once again. Aurora with the Energy Eruption, but Matt is going to fall down. Aurora manages to stay alive, but Saksha says no! A killing spree for the jungler of KBG!
And they get it again. KeepBest Gaming just keep on fighting. It was an early lead to a little mistake that Maycam Evolve got to open the window of opportunity, but then KBG go and do it all over again. And say, we can do what we did in the early game and fight it off again. That 2,000 gold lead is still within our power spike, and you are playing within our realm. 10 minutes in, this is the power of the KBG composition. Now they're going to play it slow, trying to go for the siege. And remember, for KBG, they got to end this game ASAP. They cannot let Yurokotsu and Fashion scale up. Whoa.
Okay, Tracy going for the knockout, plus the kick onto Aurora. Pairs up with the Glorious Pathway, but Fashion will take him down. Lord is still up. They're trying to work on inhibitors right down below. And they will be able to take down an inhibitor in exchange for Tracy. And you know what? The thing that KBG is doing different compared to what Falcon Esports did yesterday with this kind of opponent, the Matilda, Sicilian, Bruno, is that Twisted Falcon Esports wasn't able to take down either the Bruno or the Sicilian, but right now KBG, Tracy is actually able to go for the backline, go for either Fashion and Yurokotsu. That's why Maycam Evolve is struggling to fight back despite the damage that they have right now.
I think when it comes to the damage as well, it's still very situational. Like, Maycam Evolve needs to get a big combo for the damage to actually be visible. Or, yeah, they get KBG's backliners that are caught in a tough spot, but that's not going to happen again, right? It doesn't feel like it. KeepBest Gaming, with a few mistakes that they made in the mid-game, they should have already kind of understood that they need to play extra safe. And you can see from the itemization as well. Lexi on the way to the Wind of Nature. And Return is walking up.
Okay. They're not going to commit any ultimates yet. They're just trying to zone out Maycam Evil, trying to take away his orange buff. But I think Aurora will be able to take this away from Lexi. And still KBG holding on to a 6.6k gold lead. Actually, right now, the pressure is kind of on to Tracy to make sure that he's able to get Fashion or Yurokotsu out of position, because again, if this game extends, it's going to be hard for KBG. But the thing is, Maycam Evolves, their window of opportunity doesn't rely necessarily on what they have to do. It's more of if Tracy's going to overextend, like what he did a while ago in the top lane. That's why Maycam Evolve was able to counter-attack and get 2 kills of their own.
So Maycam Evolve are essentially waiting for a mistake.
Yeah.
They're waiting for KeepBest Gaming to get a bit too comfortable around these team fights and maybe overextend a bit, look for these team fights. But again, KBG, they've adapted. They know what they made, the mistake they made in the early game, and now they're just going to play for the neutral objective. Be Lexi also, that's a wind of nature. So now, to make it even harder for Maycam Evolve, it'll have to be Fashion. To go for the last hits, it'll be Fashion that they have to lean onto to get the kill onto Be Lexi. Yurokotsu, that's the Wind Talker, built up already. Turtle just disappeared, evaporated. KeepBest Gaming secure it here. That is the second Lord of the game, sorry. And also, is that a Melfic Roar? Yeah, Saksa, Melfic Roar already. Man, not even Aurora, not even Aurora can actually handle this damage, I feel, right now. He has an anti-curse and a cursed helmet, but that's it. He's building towards possibly an Athena shield. Let's see, KBG. They have the Beatrix, they have Tracy to actually dive in the siege as well. Maycam Evolve, they gotta protect Mr. President, but they got two presidents right now, Yurokotsu or Fashion. You gotta choose one.
Yeah, but the thing is for KBG, eliminating one president alone might be able to do the job to finish things off, but
that's true.
That just shows how the lead KBG has right now. Saksa has a lot of damage items that can burst down any single member of Maycam Evolve. Lord marching into the bottom lane as they work on the mid lane inhibitor turret. They're going to try and play this safely, not going to overcommit because again they have a ceiling. On the other hand, Glorious Pathway, and Tracy goes in with a kick. Going to catch Marquino, going to bring him down once again. 4 members are left to defend. And look at the Queller from Saksha, making sure to bring down Matt. Gonna catch Aurora to bring him down as well, and KBG will get game 1.
An early start to KBG's return run in M6. Is this finally where they turn the tides around? This is the 0-2 bracket, ladies and gentlemen. An elimination match, best of 3. KBG now hold that match point, and Maycam Evolve, they're going to have to start evolving now.
Yeah, last
Now or
chance.
never.
Now or never from Maycam Evolve. Get a great start from KBG. Better than what they've shown us for the past 2 days, especially for Wind Return this time, not getting first blood.